1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. We're going to fix Frankie's putting. I just want to make sure this is semi-straight. Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
So you're a fast twitch guy. Stop! Process!
For so long, I felt like I was getting better at golf, but I wasn't scoring any better.
Your process sucks. We're going to start the process of fixing Frankie, but Frankie ain't broke. Go in! Attaboy. Was that good?
That felt awesome. Call a spade a spade. That's the best wedge shot I've ever hit in my life. Well, this is when Scott becomes his Mr. Know-It-All, where he's like, what shot are you trying to hit here? And I'm like, I'm trying to hit the hero shot. And he's like, why?
That's insane. And so if you think of Venn diagram, solid 7-iron is going to go from about here to about where it does. A solid 8-iron is probably going to get to here. They're the same size circles. This one fits this better. You couldn't hit this thing 20 yards long if you tried to.
Shot of the day. You absolutely rocked my world with that one.
You never even looked left.
All right, episode 3 of Fixing Frankie. A very highly anticipated episode. Trevor Immelman, Masters champion, ever heard of it? You know, you got President's Cup, captain, and now what I consider the future voice of professional golf.
Whew.
How does that feel, by the way?
That sounds a little scary, actually.
It's iconic, is what it is.
Look, I love it. I love the sport. It's got so many layers to it. Not just at the professional game, but like you saying, with this episode, this show, Fixing Frankie, or anybody just starting the game. You look at Trent, what he's going through, trying to break 90. There's so many layers to where everybody is at, trying to get just that little bit better with this sport. It's a beast. So I used to use this a lot. I hope there's chalk in it because I haven't used it in ages. But if you grab this side here, hold it like over the middle of the cup. Now I'm gonna go to like here. Okay, so pull it tight.
Wow.
Okay, so you can see a little bit of a...
Yeah.
See that? This is one of the better training ways to practice your putting. It helps with a few things. It helps with, you get a better visual for your stroke because you can picture the arc better, but also it gives you a nice visual for the line the ball needs to roll on. Okay. So come and get in here and hit some putts on this.
Okay.
Putt how you putt, and I'm going to watch you hit a few. That's pretty good.
Was there ever a time that you struggled with the mental side of golf?
I think you run that roller coaster throughout your golfing experience, no matter what level you're at. You would be extremely surprised to find out how insecure some of the best players in the world are about their games.
Insecure in what way?
Thinking that they might not be good enough, thinking that there's something wrong with their swing, worried about the way they're putting, all sorts of things. That's why earlier on I say this sport is just such a beast. Like, nobody is immune from struggling in this sport. Do you ever notice a particular pattern when you putt?
I push a lot of putts.
Okay, so you miss putts left.
Left.
Do you think you start them left, or do you notice that on left to righters or right to lefters?
I notice it on right to lefters. I'm always missing on the low side.
Okay, so then the question becomes, is it because you are actually pushing the putt, or is it because you're under-reading the putt?
Right. I find that with my technique, my setup, everything about stepping up to a putt without a chalk line, I never know if I'm straight, if I'm alignment-wise. I don't know where. I'll always say during one of our videos, I don't know what a straight putt feels like sometimes.
Well,
like
this is it right here.
Right, this is it. And for some reason, I've struggled with finding.
Okay, so you did push that one just a little. You get one of these builders chalk lines, you get onto the putting green, you find a straight putt. You put the chalk line down and you just start rolling balls down the line and pay attention to, if you can do it, Does the ball start left? Does it start right? Does it start on the line? Very quickly we noticed that you could pretty much hit it down the line every time. So then the next step for me was I put 2 tees in either side of the putter head to try and see if you were striking the ball in the sweet spot all the time.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
I
which
hit
one did that
tee.
hit? That
I
hit the
this
heel.
tee.
Okay, keep going.
And immediately that's showing us what? That I'm coming out the in?
Yeah, that's why you it's got a slight toe strike.
Okay.
Okay, go again. So what I would do now is I would put, just to remind you here, I'm going to put another tee like here.
Okay.
Because now you can't wipe across it. So I want you to feel like this orange line goes down that line a little more. Better. There you go. Okay, try that again.
So that's one of the first times I've ever concentrated on the follow through, staying on the line.
I like that. I use that a lot when I used to play.
I've never done that. I've
Okay,
never
so
had
this
that.
is cool. Okay, come up over here. Remember you had the push drill
Yep.
where you went to like 2 feet, no backswing, just pushed.
Push drill was awesome.
Push drill is cool
I really like the push drill.
because it not only helps your path,
Yeah,
but it helps your face control too.
exactly.
So if you were like pushing but opening the face, you're going to block that little short putt every time, and vice versa. So it cleans up both things, face control and path. So you set up to it like you would normal set up. There's no backswing, you just push it into the hole.
I like that.
Okay, so try this one. Send that putter head down that line and push the ball into the hole. There you go. Look at that finish. So that finish was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I can't tell you how satisfying that feels.
Okay, now do like a baby backswing and try and get the same feel on the follow through. There you go.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind for people that feel like they are hitting that wall, where it's like you go into the range all the time, you're going to the practice green? What's that difference?
Well, you try to find little ways to start building some confidence and having a little bit of self-belief. And at times I think a lot of players put too much pressure on themselves because they think you're either got no confidence or the tank has to be full. But there's other areas along the way to where you can still be a functional golfer. Start to have a little bit more self-awareness when you play. Ooh, that was pretty solid.
Felt really good.
Look at that finish there. That went right down the line. I don't think it's a coincidence that when you speak to the greatest players of all time, Jack and Tiger, they so often speak about course management and the way they would think themselves around the course. When they got out onto the course, it was purely about score. Set up to it one more time. Let me just check your eye line and stuff like that. Okay, so that's you being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes are probably just a touch on this side. You'd rather have them, if anything, on the inside of the ball. So scoot like an inch away from it. There you go. So now we can test it like this. Okay, so now it's on. Okay, so cool. Hit that putt with it. So you feel a little further away?
Yep.
Yeah.
More tension in like my back and legs.
Interesting. Well, is that from the pickleball?
It is from the pickleball. Dude, I'm dying today. Larry Fitzgerald is some athlete.
Oh, no kidding. You didn't know that going in?
I knew it, but I didn't know it, you know? Huge, big ass, legs. Guy can get to anything you hit.
I've hung out with him quite a bit. He's a great dude.
Oh, the best.
Okay, so you're standing a little bit away from it. An easy way to cheat is if you put the grip over your front eye, so your right eye, you want that putter head to fall down. If you hold it like this, you want it to be aiming on the inside edge of the ball.
Okay,
Right there.
right there.
I would back up just a little bit. There you go. I like that. There it is.
My eyes were off. Like, I wasn't looking at the ball correctly. It was that throwing off where I saw my target was. And just the simple tip of just moving back a little bit more so that my eyes were in the better spot above the ball allowed me to see the line on my putter kind of go to the true
Yeah.
place that it was going, which to me is so interesting that something as simple as are you standing too close or far away from the ball can throw it off that much.
That was the best backstroke you've made. That was
Felt
really good.
Really, really solid.
Okay, so wait, just don't move. While we're here, what we can do is we can measure it. You can actually, with your putter, you could actually measure this. You got 1 putter head, 2, 2.5. 2 and half of the putter head from the ball to where your feet should be.
Is that something I could do on the course where I stand up to the ball and I kind of just like line myself up that way?
I wouldn't do it as you're about to hit the putt,
Yeah.
so you look like a dork. But I think while the other guys are playing,
Yeah.
and you're like off to the side of the green, there's a couple things you can do. The first thing you can do is you put that ball over your front eye and you drop it, and you're like, okay, that's where the ball needs to be.
Is that what you were doing at Augusta National when you were winning the Masters? Did we see Trevor on the side? This Tiger's putt is just like
No, but I would have done it so much when I'm here at home.
Right. Sunday of the Masters, you're at the pinnacle of your sport, and it's probably the most demanding mental side of the game that you've ever had to encounter, I'm assuming. How did you deal with all of that? Was there any time that doubt creeped in, like Trevor Immelman can't do this? Are you saying that to yourself? And then how'd you get over that? How did you succeed?
Look, we're not machines. Like it's inevitable that those kinds of thoughts creep in at some point in proceedings. But you have an option at that point. You either dwell on it or you just keep moving. How do you read a putt? You asked me about my routine earlier, but I'll get to that. But how do you read a putt?
I get down and make it look like I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm looking at the hole. I'm trying to see what the highest parts are.
So what do you could obviously see it's right to left.
Yes.
What is catching your
I guess
eye?
what I see and what comes naturally to me is I kind of see the path. I see like a video game line going in of what I think it's going to do. And on this putt, I'm seeing like it's kind of going to go out here, and then I'm probably going to get it in somewhere around this part of the hole.
Okay. So put a tee in sort of around halfway for me,
Okay.
where you think the ball needs to roll outside of it to make it.
Wow, okay. So I would say like right here.
So you think the ball's got to go to the right of that.
No, that was too far out. I think it's got to go outside here. Wow, I still think that's too far out.
You do?
What do you think?
I think it's at least that.
Okay.
So this is where it gets interesting. Because a lot of times when we putt and you kind of kept your head down, by the time your eyes catch up to the ball has already started breaking.
Mm.
So where your eyes pick it up, it's lower than where it was when it started. But sometimes that can trick your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is, in order for your ball to roll here somewhere between this gate, let's give it a decent gate. So for this ball to have a chance to go in, it's got to roll between here somewhere. Where do you think you have to start it?
Probably like right here, like almost on the outside.
Yeah, like
of
the
that.
outside one.
Yeah.
So take a look at that now. And I mean, dude, that is a ton of break, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
That's insane. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so easy to underread putts. Would you ever aim there on that putt?
No.
So let's try it and see if we're right or if we're wrong.
I'm stepping up to this putt. Am I looking at that tee or am I looking at the gate?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure
Okay,
out. We're
okay.
trying to figure out what works for you.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the tee. The back.
Oh yeah, Frankie, talk to me. Talk to me. That was pretty damn good. Hey?
All right. All right. When you brought out that
The aiming thing.
the aiming
Yeah, the
rope,
string.
the string, the difference between when I was standing close to the ball and away from the ball was
Yeah.
a made putt and a missed putt.
Set up to one there and try and aim at the outside tee, and let's see how good you are. Tell me when you think you got it. I'll move the shadow just to not give you an excuse.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Yep.
All right, stay there, don't move. Okay, hold this for me. You can let go of the putter. Yeah, hold this for me. You got it? Yep. Let's see. You're trying to aim at the outside tee. Okay, move the finger there. Let me get, there you go. Wow, isn't that interesting?
Wow. And we've got a damn line on this putter. How am I so off?
Isn't that interesting? Try again. Let's just see if there's a pattern. Try again.
Well, now I'm going to react.
Maybe. Let's see. There's no guarantees with this crazy sport.
Or this mine.
Are you still a little further from the ball? There you go. Now let's see if that changes the way your eyes see it.
Okay. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, better.
Much better.
So I think when you stand too close to it.
Wow, what's amazing is I felt like I was overly going to the right there just to make sure I got it correct, and I was still a little bit low.
You're still low. So now you know why you always miss
Missing
low
everything
on.
left.
Yeah, you almost cannot compensate enough. Like you have to hit the worst putt ever to make it.
Right.
So you've probably been hitting decent putts and missing it, and then blaming something in your stroke or.
Right.
So you're actually a pretty good candidate for doing what I do, which is when you stand behind it here. So stand behind it, draw an imaginary line from the outside tee down to your ball. Pick a little spot somewhere here that's on that line. Keep that in your vision and come here and aim it at the spot. And let's see how that works out. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's see. So you picked a little spot there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see how you did. Oh, it feels better already, Frankie.
Man. We're right on it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think aim is it's a learnt skill. It's something you can absolutely get better at.
Yeah.
So when I was playing, I would spend time working on my aim with the putting. And it's an easy way to do that with that chalk line or with a string. Yeah. You just go down there and check it every now and then. Find a spot you think the ball needs to hit to have a good chance to go in. Is the question you got to ask yourself.
You want me to do the far tee or the one?
No, the midpoint.
Okay. So I think it's gotta.
You think it's got to hit that spot?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like that. So the next question you ask yourself is, in order for my ball to get there, where do I need to start it? Because the first piece is breaking as well.
Right.
So put another tee in sort of on a kind of a start line. Yeah, I kind of like that too. So now, this is much less relevant now.
Yeah.
Because you've done all that. You know that if the ball hits here, you're going to be sweet. It's more like now you're concerned about how am I going to get it here. So now this is the guy that matters.
Okay.
So now you have to stand behind the ball here. You have to draw a straight line, like the chalk line, between here and here. Pick a baby spot and then line up to that.
I got it already.
Okay. Okay, stand a little further away from it.
Mm.
Man, that is on the money, that aim. Check that out. Okay. Now it's speed. Now it's only speed. Start line was good.
Just didn't hit it, but man, is that a good putt.
Okay, so let's try. That was really good.
I mean, we came here to fix my putting, and you just gave me such an amazing tool to be able to use to get the ball where I want it to go.
Yeah. Well,
gosh, that's been such a big struggle for me.
One of the biggest problems with golf, and I was a culprit of this as well, is so often you chasing your tail. The intention is good because you're trying to get better, but a lot of times you could be working on stuff that you don't need to be working on, or you don't really even know where the problem is to begin with. Right. But very quickly, when you could start 95% of the balls on the chalk line, I knew that, you don't have a stroke like Riggs is. Okay, so that is not a concern. Yeah. And immediately I was willing to bet, like, okay, he's got an aiming problem and a green reading problem.
Yeah.
So that's like the diagnosis.
Gosh, how many people at home just can't find a way to get the ball where they want it to go, and now this is going to bring it so much closer to them.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing I love more about putting than when I look up and the ball's halfway there and I'm like, oh yeah, this has still got a shot. General rule of thumb is the ball either needs to be on a good line or high for you to have that feeling. If it's halfway there and it's already low, you're like, oh, you give up on it, right?
Yeah.
As it's catching the break, it's just going to start getting further and further and further from the hole. Whereas if you've over-read a little bit, as it's dying, it's getting closer and closer. So let's hit this putt. Now it's the
All right, so this is the left to right.
Breaking in the other direction, sorry.
Actually quite significant up by the hole, no?
So the first question you ask yourself is, where's my spot? Where's my spot that I need to hit to have a chance? So if my ball runs over this area, it's got a nice chance.
So if the ball rolls right over this, it should go in.
I think so.
Too far?
But let's try it. Let's try it.
All right, but now,
Let's try it. So here, take this one.
let's see where it has to go.
Where do you have to start it in order to hit that spot? So now you got that. This one can go away. Now you got to draw your line, your chalk line. Every putt's a straight putt eventually.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite part. This
So
is
now
my
you
favorite
set
part.
it up. You stand a little further away, and once you have nailed your aim, like nailed it. So now it's all speed. Frankie. Oh, it's a nice putt. That's a nice putt.
Making every putt a straight putt is so light bulb going off in my brain, I can't even explain. How often am I sitting here on a slider like this and I'm just like, how am I going to get this thing? And I'm just looking at an area out here, but really in my mind what I'm thinking is just get it in the hole. I'm not thinking about drawing a line from the spot, bringing it here and just hitting it to it. Like my alignment is so much better now.
The hole needs to just get in the way.
Yeah.
You're rolling balls, and the hole's got to get in the way.
If there's anything you're going to take from this video, it's that hitting a straight putt is so much easier than trying to make the putt go in the way that we're used to. Like, find where this ball needs to roll over a spot and get it there, and just give it a chance. I love when you said just give it a chance to go in.
Well, I was trying to get an understanding and a feel for your process.
Right.
And so I was like, so what do you do? And you're like, oh, well, I bend down because that's what everybody does.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's cool.
I try and look
So
cool
let's try and
sometimes,
figure out, what the process is for you whilst you're reading the putt. So what is the first question you ask yourself?
Where do I want this ball? Where do I have to putt this ball over for it to go in?
Correct.
That's the midpoint. Right to left there. So I'm walking out to this way and I'm thinking if the ball rolls over here, might be a little outside.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yep.
I agree with you.
So I'm thinking,
That's not bad.
yeah, that feels better.
Okay, so it's got a chance if it hits there.
Yeah.
So what's the next question you ask
The
yourself?
next question is, where do I have to aim to get the ball
Yes.
to break right there? And I think
It's pretty
it
good.
feels pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So now this you don't have to worry about anymore. Now you got what?
Taking that line, that tee to my ball, and I'm finding a spot right in front of the ball that I have to roll this over, and then it's all about speed.
Correct.
It's amazing how simple we've
got it.
turned a, what is this, a 13, 15 foot putt?
So it's all speed now that you've lined it up. That's very, very good. So, okay, so we look at that putt, and what did you learn?
I learned that my speed was way off.
But the line was pretty
The
good.
line was really good.
Okay, so now try it again.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy with where that ball was going. I'm more unhappy with the stroke. There was no confidence in it.
Yeah, well, the stroke was fine, just the speed control. Okay, the aim is money. A little further away from it. There you go. It's got a chance. It does. How cool is that?
That's so cool. That is so cool.
That never looked like missing.
No. I'm gonna keep stressing this. It's like we've turned a turning right to left foot putt into a just get it over
Yeah,
this spot.
that's right.
and
That's
just
right.
figure out the speed, and you got a chance.
There's an optimal like capture speed of when the ball hits the edge, it's still going to drop down, right? So if you're using that, or the ball is dying nicely as it gets to the hole, it makes the hole so much bigger. The firmer the ball is rolling, the more you're shrinking it to where if it just catches the edge, it's going to rim out.
Playing baseball my whole life, you throw a baseball and you can just get it there. You just know it just by doing it. But I just can't seem
Well,
to
you've
do
also got
that.
somebody catching it, so they're going to stop it.
Right, right.
So this is a drill that I would do to work on speed.
Yep.
So we'll just put this out here, this little white marker, right? And your goal is to stop the ball as close to that mark as you can. Okay, not bad. Couple feet short. Let's go over here. So this is how you would work on your speed control. You'd randomize it, because this is what happens on the golf course, and you'd start to dial in how much energy you need to put into the ball to hit it that distance. Okay, so you're short 2 in a row, so we can see that pattern already. Let's hit the downhill one. So this is the only way to get better at speed and touch and feel, all those words. See, so the downhill helped you get it there. That was perfect speed. You know, putting practice it's not flashy.
Right.
Sometimes it's kind of boring, but you have to do it. That was a good strike. See, so now the last 2 you've had perfect speed.
Yeah.
But now here's where it gets tricky, is give me perfect speed on this putt.
It blew by.
So isn't that interesting? So what have you got here? 1, 2, you got like a 3-footer just outside of 3 foot, and you've hit it a foot harder than what you needed to.
Right.
It just shows how tough it can be. And that's why a lot of times when you see guys, so here's an old hole, you see guys from short and you know, they just ram it. So what happens then is if you go with that much speed, you're shrinking the hole down. Because if that putt with that speed hits any part of these edges, it's just
Gone. Yeah. Where do you think we're at? Did you think we made some progress today?
Yeah, I think you're on a good track. Now, the problem is going to be, are you disciplined enough to stick to a couple of those drills?
Brendan's pointing at me from behind the camera.
Speed. You got to do the push drill. You got to find a way to get a chalk line every now and then. Equally as important, really, is will you stick to the process that we built out on the golf course? So you've learned about your putting today that your stroke is fine. You just need to watch where you stand from the ball, and you have the check. You have the check to be able to keep an eye on that. All right, it's got to be the line from your front eye down must cut right on the inside edge of the ball. All right, so right there. For you, it'll be on that side. You actually read putts quite well. You've proved that to yourself here now with all of these. The spots you've picked
better.
are not that far out.
Yeah. Your alignment to my read has fixed.
You've fixed the alignment.
Yeah.
And it's speed.
Which, speaking of marker, you gave me sickest marker of all time.
I just found that in my
Look
bag.
at this Augusta National marker. It's like this is the golf course one. This doesn't have like Masters logo on it. This is from the golf course.
Yep. One of the things I learned from Tiger is you've got to be willing to fight through the pain of it when you're missing, and it's because now you're finding out little things about yourself that you can then notice when you're in competition. So let's say I have a putt like this that's meaningful, that I think is meaningful. As I would be like coming out of it, I'd say to myself, okay, you know, you've made 25 of these in a row, like how many times? And then you just try and stick to the same process and routine. Treat them all the same.
This is great, man.
Yeah,
This really was.
no probs.
Think we learned anything or what?